Now let's see how to force PHP to use a secure connection. So I'm going to go ahead and create a sample page here under my week 7, and I'm going to call this secure page, and it's just going to echo hello world. And when I go to the browser and load this page, CIS 195p week 7 secure page .php, it says hello world. But what if I go to HTTP? Well, I still get hello world, but now I'm in an unsecured connection. And so if this was a login form and the user typed in a password and hit the submit button, I'd be sending their password over an unsecured connection, and anybody who had access to the network packets I was sending could read their password in clear text. So what I want to do is I want to force anybody who accesses this page to only do so using HTTPS. So there's two different ways of doing that, and there's a link in the readings this week which shows both of them. So the first way is with PHP code. So when the page loads, you go ahead and you check whether you're already using HTTPS or not. And there's a variable under the superglobal $under server for HTTPS that's set to on if you're in a secure connection, and it's missing if you're not. So if you are in a secure connection, then you're going to create a redirect string, and you're going to redirect to https:// and then you get the name of the server from $under server, HTTP host, and then you get the current request URI, so the path and script name that's being accessed, also in $under server, and then use the header command from last week to create a location redirect. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to go ahead and put a breakpoint here so that we can take a look at the value of $under server. And I'm going to go ahead and enable debugging, turn the phone on. And then I'm going to reload here. And that's popped up PHP. So I'm going to take the settings. And here's my $under server variable. And you'll notice that I have HTTP host, and this is whatever the host name is. I'm using localhost, but it would be www.realsite.com for a real site. And there's also request URI right here, which is basically everything after the host name. So I can use these two parameters to initiate a secure connection. So if you look through this list of values for HTTPS, you'll see there isn't one. So that's going to be our cue that we need to do something special. And I could just put the code right here in this file, but this is a function that I'm going to want to use in a bunch of different places. So I'm going to right-click on week 7 and create a new directory called includes. And under my includes folder, I'm going to create a new PHP file for utilities. Utilities.php, okay. And I'm going to create a function called RequireSecure. So function RequireSecure, and it's going to say if $under server sub HTTPS not equal on, then I know I'm not in a secure connection. So what I want to do is I want to write a header command that's going to relocate to https:// and then $under server sub http host dot $under server sub request URI. And that should be everything for that. And then, since I'm writing this header, which is going to cause the browser to relocate, I really don't want to do anything after this. So I'm going to use exit to kick out of the script entirely. And then, if HTTPS is already on, it's just going to fall through this function and continue on the code. So let's go ahead and use that. I'm going to go ahead and require once. Actually, let me continue first, and then get rid of this breakpoint and turn off debugging. So I'm going to require once include /utilities, and then I'm going to require secure. So let's go ahead and reload this page now. I'm going to reload, and I automatically got forwarded to HTTPS, the same exact page but HTTPS. So that worked. And let's go ahead and see what's going on with the network. So I'm going to go ahead, F12 for the debugger network tab. I'm going to get rid of this S and hit return. So I actually got two requests. So the first request was this one, secure page, and this is just using http://. And the response that it got was status code 302, which is relocate. And then in the response headers, it has this location field specified, which is https://localhost and then the URL. So that caused it to then load this page, which is https:// whatever. The response was OK, status code 200 for OK. And then the actual response was just hello world. So that worked perfectly fine. Now I'm going to assume that the user started with HTTPS and see what happens. So I'm just going to hit reload here. And you'll see I just got the regular page content with no redirect. So that's the first way of ensuring a secure connection using PHP. And then the second way, I'm going to go ahead and comment this out, is using something called htaccess. So htaccess is a file that Apache uses to control access to web pages. And you can put lots of stuff in there, but we're going to use this to create something called a URL rewrite rule that will automatically forward all pages that are accessed inside this folder, whether they're PHP pages or not. So everything inside this folder is going to be automatically redirected to the secure version. And I'm going to right-click on week 7 and create a new, just regular file, not PHP file this time, just regular file with no extension. And the name is .htaccess. So this dot is important. This is a special file name. And then for the content, that's back in this article here. So here's what the content looks like. It's a rewrite rule. It's got a condition, which is we're not in HTTPS. And then the rewrite rule basically does the same thing we did in PHP. It creates a new URL with HTTPS using the host and the request URI. So basically does the same thing as our PHP, but it does it in Apache instead of in PHP. Get rid of these extra spaces. And now, if I go back here, even though I've disabled that RequireSecure, if I go ahead and change this to HTTP and hit reload, I get the same result. So it automatically forwards to HTTPS. Now, which one you want depends on exactly what you want your website to do. So this is going to automatically rewrite all the pages inside of this folder, which may or may not be what you want. Whereas the PHP solution is only going to forward this one page, and I have to remember to use this on every page that I want to forward. So for this week, I'm going to use this mechanism, the PHP mechanism, because the order that you do things is sometimes important, and I want you to understand the order. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. and then we'll reload, and it still works.